Welcome back. Today we got Why Was Christmas Banned? Can y'all believe it? Christmas was banned at one point. Now I've heard about this somewhat a little bit, but it's going to be cool to dive deeper in and really get more details, refresh my memory. This is from the channel The Guardian, and the original link will be in the description. Now, I did see a cartoon. It was actually a really good cartoon back in the day. Back when y'all remember when 25 Days of Christmas used to be like so special? It was like a whole story that went through Santa Claus like life. And I remember there was like this emperor or something like that was like he was an arcane, brutal, just mean dictator, and he banned Christmas. He banned Christmas, and it was against the law. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take a guess that it has something to do with the real history that happened. So yeah, let's hop into it and let's find out why was Christmas banned. With that being said, here we go.
This is Oliver Cromwell, the man that overthrew King Charles I in the English Civil War. But Cromwell was also embroiled in a lesser-known controversy. He and his fellow members of Parliament made celebrating Christmas illegal.
The greenery, the feasting, the dancing, the drinking, basically anything that indicated it was a holiday was banned. So people were cross. There were uprisings, huge fights in the streets.
The ban in England only lasted for
Quick question for the comments. Quick question. How would y'all feel, right, if that happened today? Would you care? Or would it just be like, who cares? How would y'all feel? Do y'all feel like if someone tried to do this today, like say, you know what, we're just going to ban any holiday, but we'll just say Christmas because that's more so celebrated worldwide. If somebody said that today, do y'all think there would be an uprising or people would just kind of be like, how y'all feel? Let me know in the comments.
around 17 years. But it had a profound impact on how we celebrate Christmas.
Whoa. Did they say it lasted 17 years? Hold on, that's long. That's long.
Only lasted for around 17 years. But it had a profound impact on how we celebrate Christmas. And conversely, helped Christmas become one of the most resilient and flexible of all the holiday festivals. In the mid-17th century, there were lots of similarities to how we celebrate Christmas now. Drinking, exchanging presents, singing and dancing. People feasted on roast meats, fruit pies, and special ales. But the Protestant Puritans of the time saw the whole concept of celebrating Christmas as illegitimate. So in 1643, Parliament banned Christmas. And from this point until the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, celebrating Christmas was officially illegal. Shops and businesses were forced to stay open on Christmas Day. It was illegal just to attend a Christmas service. Even food being prepared for Christmas celebrations was seized.
The need was to say this is an ordinary day. If it's an ordinary day, you don't have greenery, you don't get drunk, well maybe, you don't eat to excess, you don't do all of the various elements which mark out Christmas.
It wasn't long until people took to the streets and pro-Christmas riots broke out. The legislation applied throughout the English territories. Weirdly, the Scots had to endure the ban.
Hold on. I don't know who this is on the ground, but he's getting pummeled pretty bad right there. Imagine that being a picture taken for history, for hundreds of years later. Someone like me have to see this picture. It's crazy to think that if this was based off of if someone drew this off of what they seen, right? Somebody's related to that guy on the ground, and somebody's related to the guy doing the punching. But then at the same time, I look closer and I'm like, what if that wasn't a guy on top of him? Because, you got some strong women out here for sure.
Broke out. The legislation applied throughout the English territories. Weirdly, the Scots had to endure the ban for longer than anyone else.
In 1957, Christmas was still formally illegal in Scotland. It had officially been banned for 250 years.
So what did Cromwell and his fellow Puritans have against Christmas? Their main argument was that there was no biblical reason or reference for celebrating the Nativity on the 25th of December.
The whole point was that the Bible is the actual and literal Word of God. There isn't a sentence in the Bible that says Christ was born on the 25th of December. And this is what the problem was for those who felt that Christmas was not biblically sanctioned.
The Bible doesn't say exactly when Jesus was born, but it does offer some clues.
There are details that we know, Mary giving birth, the shepherds in the field who see the angel, they travel to see the child, and so on and so forth.
It's worth noting that the Gospel of James says Mary gave birth in a cave, and even though it's not part of the modern canon of the New Testament, it is still relevant, and we'll come back to why later.
What isn't in the Bible is any indication of when this takes place. If it's December, even in the Middle East, why are the sheep out grazing in the fields at night? This doesn't happen in winter.
The best estimates for Jesus' birth, according to biblical scholars, is either the 17th of April, the 29th of May, or the 15th of September. So, if Jesus wasn't born on the 25th of December, then how did we end up celebrating on this day? Well, the date of Jesus' birth wasn't the only problem that the Puritans had with Christmas. There were also a few...
Oh, the Puritans! You mean the people that went around burning all them women, calling them witches every 5... Oh, those Puritans!
too many similarities with Roman festivals. During the time of the Roman Empire, the end of December was full of celebrations.
You have Saturnalia, which
I was just about to bring Saturnalia up.
was a gift-giving and a feasting holiday. It ran for a week from the 17th of December. At the other end, you have the Calends, the New Year holiday. It's feasting, it's processions, it's small gift-giving. There's greenery. You're beginning to see where all our elements are coming from. In the middle of those two, the 25th of December, the day of the unconquered sun, you have the solstice holiday.
It was one of the biggest events of the year. The celebration was marking the birth of a god. This god was called Mithras.
When the god Mithras is born, he emerges from a cave, which is coincidentally or not, observed by two shepherds. So there are parallels that accreted to the Christian religion from Mithraism, just as the celebratory elements accreted from Saturnalia and from the Calends. I think that by the time the church settled on a celebration of the Nativity, this is a convenient time of year. It's useful.
So the Puritans were correct in a lot of ways. But the ban actually had the effect of making the festival more popular.
In a way, it clarified what Christmas was for people. It's winter, we're depressed as hell, please could we have a party? And by keeping businesses open, which of course includes taverns, inns, pubs, it meant people could meet and drink and feast in a way that was harder when Christmas was observed and everything was closed. So it actually increased the sociability element.
And the Christian dimension of Christmas also thrived after the ban.
What the church has done with its element of the holiday, it took on elements of the family focus, and religious and secular together worked for charitable ends. To say, this is a lovely holiday of family, but if you're cold and hungry or on the streets, it's perhaps a little less lovely. And so
I don't mean to pause. Well, I don't mean to pause, but I do mean to pause because I don't mean to pause because I don't want to stop, break the attention. But I do mean to pause because I do want to highlight the fact that I just started to feel really good. Just seeing people together, giving and just being there for each other, showing that unity. It always just kind of uplifts my spirit. So shout out, even these old pictures right here. They may be so old, but you could feel the love. You could just feel it. Like, I love to see people have each other's backs. Like, look at like this old woman, for example, right here, these old women, and they're all out there. They're all out there together, and I can only imagine the knowledge that they all had. Being older, wise women and men as well.
Hungry or on the streets, it's perhaps a little less lovely. And so together, let us help those who are less fortunate.
Yeah.
And that was very much religious as well as secular.
The charitable, family-centred Victorian-style Christmas has become so quintessential of the festive holiday we know today. My main source for this video was Judith's book, Christmas, a Biography. Check it out, there's loads of great information in there that we didn't have time to cover. If you celebrate Christmas or any other festival at this time of year, tell us what you do. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I find those pictures beautiful. Those older pictures like that of, or I don't know what it is. Something about it makes me smile. But yeah, that was a great video breaking down the history. One thing that I really like as far as the holidays in general is just I like to see people actually try to, just kind of be a better person in a sense, and just think about others. That's the spirit of it, right? Now I'm gonna add value to what wasn't mentioned, which is when you really dig and you do your study, and you'll see, that eons ago, for eons, and on a continent of Africa, they was doing a winter solstice celebration where around December 22nd, when that sun would hit, it would be in 0 point. And then about 3 days later, around the 25th, would rise again. They would call it Rise of the Sun, right? And they were doing this for eons. You can look it up. It's having winter solstice celebrations because everything was about nature and the seasons and cycles of the planet, Mother Earth, which, the indigenous of, or what people would call Native Americans would call Turtle Island. And, just everybody had their names. So as far as the parallels to go into Saturnalia and, just there is certain parallels. But when you go and you look at a bunch of traditions and ancient cultures, you'll see which shocks a lot of people, historians and archaeologists, it just shocks them is what they find is there was so much similar things from cultures that were on different sides of the planet. They had so much similar carvings and traditions just with their own names and spins on it. And it all shows that it brings up the mystery of we was all one at one point, right? What broke us up? What this all stems from something. And then you had people who went and they took a combination of a little bit here and a little bit there, and put some seasoning in it, mix up the pie, blah, 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 and then they, oh, this is what this is. May not tell you they got it from here. May not tell you that, they studied a little bit of here. Blah, blah, blah. So that's where it gets confusing at. Then you had a lot of psychopaths, a lot of, you had Puritans that, like I said, they were burning. Just everything was a witch, everything was demonic. So you had a lot of narcissists and a lot of, I want to say, Jack the Rippers, which still today, same thing. You had a lot of Jack the Rippers and what's that one guy off of Hannibal? You had Hannibal Lecters, a lot of them who were in position that were doing a lot of these bends and a lot of these there was this one guy who went around and he was like the ultimate witch hunter, and he just had a past history of being obsessed with women and just bad history. So you have people even today, you have people who are in high positions that are sick people who tend to apply these harsh rules on people and then create their own based off of their perception of things and their delusions. They say, you know what, this is how it should be because this is this is God speaks through me. This is how it is. Everything else is demonic. Everything else is this. Ban that or burn this person. Whole time they shouldn't even be nowhere near power or be having any type of be speaking anything holy because they'd be the complete opposite. Yeah, to this day, which we see with even certain celebrities. I'm not going to say no names, but we see certain celebrities in the media who was looked at as, this holy figure, constantly saying things like, using God as a cover up, and Jesus. A lot of people use these holy things as a cover up, and then the whole time behind the scenes they're doing the most heinous acts and crimes against humanity against people. So, we have to realize that if we want to grow as a people, we have to realize that we have to stop judging each other and realize that everything, all this, it all was broken down from something. It's all you know what I'm saying? Like, this was documented, all these different, and it has to do with the seasons and the cycles of the planet, and how things used to be. This is why when you look at Pangea, right? I personally believe at one point everything was one. It would make sense. I personally believe that. And then everything was just kind of something broke everything up and broke people over here and over here and over here. And then we had, different languages and different theories and different this and that. And, oh, we're better than you, manipulation, deception. All of a sudden, everything's all over the place. But when it's all said and done, when you look at that wintertime cycle and you really study the planet, that is a time where you're really supposed to go within and you're really supposed to reset. Right? That's when everything's pretty much what you say is dead. You got the fall when things start to fall, literally. Change colors and fall. Then you go into this winter time where it's like, that's where you're supposed to kind of like reset, go within yourself. This is why people feel so heavy. This is why that seasonal depression, because they're supposed to shed your skin like the serpent. And then around, my birthday, March 21st, which was really, when you really study, that's really the original New Year's. That's when you're really supposed to be reborn again. That's why, you ever see people spring, summertime, they feel stagnant. They just feel like things ain't working. It's because back in the wintertime, they didn't go within themselves and they didn't do that inner work to shed that skin and to get rid of the heavy things. Right? And I feel like us giving, this is why I'm in support of the holidays. I feel like giving and thinking about others and diffusing that ego is a great way of entering that mindset to start to really look within and start to grow into, I guess, a better person, right? Or at least face the truth about yourself and start to figure out who you want to be and ask bigger questions. That's my personal opinion, right? You got a lot of people who do a lot of dark things, who, do a lot of messed up things, some Rosemary Baby stuff, if you ever seen that movie. Like, you got all type of stuff, but you got a lot of great people, too. A lot of great people in this world. They may not get the promotion, they may not get the marketing that they deserve, right? But you have a lot of great people in this world. And amongst every religion, every tradition, you have great people. And that's what I like to focus on. So, woo, with that video, shout out to humans have been through some stuff, haven't they? To this day, still humans. We've been through some things. But we got to just learn, learn from our ancestors. And this is why I did that Christmas fund about 2-3 years, I'll say 3-4 years ago. I did a Christmas fund and it was amazing, man. Shout out to everybody that donated. We gave to so much kids. I had posted all the, the pictures, and it was awesome. Got a kid a hamster. It was just great. I love to give. I love it. It's amazing. But with that being said, original link in the description. If you like this video, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. I gotta go handle some business, and I'll be back with more soon. Much love.